I want to let you guys know that, like I said, I made some upgrades. So what exactly did I upgrade? Well, here's the thing. I upgraded my EVGA RTX 3060 for a Zotac Gaming RTX 3060 Ti.
I beg your pardon?
I know what you're thinking, like, whoa, Jamal, that's kind of dope. You was able to upgrade. Again, I'm going to walk you through how I did these things. And then I was able to upgrade my Zotac 3060 Ti to a Zotac Gaming RTX 3080 Trinity OC.
You're welcome, you're welcome. Here's another glimpse in the life of Mr. Seldom. On a mission to heaven so he can tell me well done. He got all my secrets, he promised he never tell none. You're welcome, there's no other feeling like it.
What's good, everyone? It's Jamal Haki, channel dedicated to helping individuals unlock the will to conquer imagination. And if you truly believe in self, as well as the content being posted here on this channel, then we can indeed help turn the you that's you into something more valuable. Now, what do we have here in today's video? I'm pretty sure y'all see the title. It's gonna be a little bit something a little bit different over here. Now, this is not a tech channel, but I think it's just funny to be able to talk about some of this stuff. So let me just go ahead and inform you guys, especially with some of the stuff I'm going to be doing on this channel. It's going to be a lot of different discussion, a lot of different topics, red pill discussion. I'm going to be able to talk about anything I want on this channel because that's the whole purpose of the channel. Now, what we're going to talk about is PC building, graphics cards, NVIDIA RTX graphics cards. What the hell is going on, people? Like, I just assumed that you can just buy parts. That's what I thought.
Oh, is that so?
So, if you guys don't already know, I built my first PC back in like late 2018, like December-ish, heading into like 2019. That was like my first PC I ever built. I was just like, I saw some YouTube videos and I finally was like, yo, I want a PC. So I went out and I invested some money into getting PC parts and I built it. I was like, at first I thought I was going to go the route of finding someone to actually build it for me. But then after watching some videos, I was like, well, I actually can probably build this myself because, I mean, it don't seem too bad. And come to find out, I did. I mean, it didn't take me that long. And I was like, yo, this is really working for me. During that transition, however, I end up entering nursing school. And throughout nursing school, you know, I had the idea of upgrading parts and doing all these things. Honestly, when I built my first PC, I didn't really understand the parts itself. I just watched the video and was just like, I'm going to get these parts based off of the build that they have. And it was within a reasonable price. So I was like, okay, let's just do that. Now that I know a little bit of what I know, I really don't like the build as much because as I'm trying to come into streaming, recording, editing, I mean, the current RAM I have, I think I'm running at, 16 gigs is not bad. That's decent. That's good. However, the CPU I'm running at is like a i5 8 something. I don't know. It's cool. It was something that was good at the time at the build back then. The graphics card that I have in the current build that I'm working with that I'm using to record this video is a Radeon RX Radeon 580. The motherboard that I have is like not that good. It was just something that I was just told to get based off a video that I watched. So you kind of get where I'm going with this. So this time I did my research. I did my studying.
Perfect.
And I was like, okay, I just finished nursing school. I got that nursing money.
Perfect.
So I was like, I'm about to buy me some PC parts. But come to find out, I couldn't find no damn PC parts.
Not on my watch.
Well, let's be a little bit more specific. I couldn't find the damn graphics card because everybody was buying up all the graphics cards and I didn't know. I was like, yo, why the hell is it so hard to find a graphics card? And then come to find out people are buying up graphics card and using it for crypto mining and people buying it and scalping people and flipping it and tripling the money. They buying cars that originally cost $400 or $300 and selling it for $1,000. Like, get the hell out of here. That's wild.
Or stop it.
And I get it. I get it. They're really doing things based off the current situation. You know, the whole beer bug situation with the virus going around. There's a decrease in the amount of the graphics cards is being built, so the demand of the graphics card is very high, mainly because of you know, at the beginning of the pandemic you had people working from home a lot, so then people started building, you know, making their PC builds, and so it's a mixture between that, a decrease in the amount that's being made, and on top of that, people using it for crypto mining, and people just buying it up, scalping people and trying to flip it and triple and double and quadruple it to make more money. So it's a whole bunch of things combined together to make the situation as bad as it was. And that goes for CPU parts, that goes for, and I guess a little bit of motherboards, and prices of things started to increase. However, I think I might have got in at the right time for those other parts besides the graphics card.
You think I'm playing?
So let's talk about my graphics card story. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple. If you're looking for a graphics card like RTX wise, you ain't gonna find it. Not for no good price.
Nope.
Everybody trying to scam you. I could pull out my phone right now and I probably done message maybe over 30 to 40 people, from Craigslist to OfferUp to Facebook Market, and out of all those people, I managed to only get one legit. Well, let me not say I managed to buy an RTX card. So I did manage to get the EVGA 3060 XC graphics card. So I did manage to get one from someone for a very, and I repeat, very reasonable price. And I'm gonna explain how. Oh! Now, there was a couple of legitimate people, however, those things was a little bit out of my price range. I think I got in contact with someone from the Memphis area that was selling like some type of 3080 Ti or something, and he was asking for something over $1,000, and it was pretty reasonable for why he was asking for that much. I just was trying to work him down it, and I was like, you know what, I don't feel right trying to work somebody down from something that is really legitimately worth over $1,000, and I'm not willing to spend it over $1,000 on the graphics card at this moment. Another guy, and you can see the trend in this, right? The legitimate ones are the pricey ones that are really worth it, and they may be slightly above MSRP. He was also selling like some type of 3080 Ti, and I'm thinking, I got a lesson on this one. I'm thinking all cards was coming from NVIDIA, so I was basing MSRP based off of the Founders Edition. Come to find out, when people was talking about certain cards, Asus and Gigabyte and all these things, and MSI and Zotac, I'm learning now. I'm learning about these whole different brands of graphics card. I'm like, hold on, you telling me that card costs more than the MSRP, and the MSRP for that card is actually this price, and it is actually pretty reasonable for what you're selling it for? However, it still was slightly out of my price range. Them 3080 Ti's is kind of hitting.
Perfect.
And it was really dope. It had the RGB lights and stuff all on it, and it was super dope. Couldn't pay for it. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I could pay for it. I just didn't want to pay for it. I'm pretty cheap.
Yeah.
After like a few days of searching, I finally get in contact with this buddy. I'm gonna be real with you. I still don't even know if the card worked. I'm assuming it worked. He told me to hit him up, and I drove out to meet him in person for the card. Drove out legitimate. So this card, as you know, is sold for around, I think, $400, $409 MSRP, right? Best Buy, you name it. I end up getting the card for $500. $500 flat. That means I really technically only paid about $50 to $60 over MSRP, because you got to factor in tax.
Perfect.
I only paid $50 to $60 over MSRP. Oh! So in terms of value per per performance, I'm going to get all my money's worth for this card. However, the moment I see a good deal on a 3060 Ti or 3070 or 3070 Ti, I'm going to jump at it. And I'm still looking from time to time to match my other stuff I got, because a lot of parts that I got, I'm going to show y'all. Since I'm already doing the video, I'm going to show y'all anyway. I'm going to show you my current build. Not me building it, but I'm going to show you some of the parts that I got for the build.
A few moments later.
Here's what I did for my build. I got the graphics card. That's number one. I watched the videos and I learned. They told me the first thing you get when you making your build is you need to get the graphics card, because that is you're gonna build your stuff around that. The next thing that I got outside of that, I end up getting a Ryzen 5900X. So why exactly did I get a Ryzen 5900X? I'm gonna tell you why. I got it because I knew that soon I'm going to be upgrading my graphics card to, 3070, 3080 when it becomes available for a reasonable price. So I knew I was going to do that soon. The second reason is I knew I wanted to build something that was going to last several years and it was going to be good. And on top of that, I do a lot of editing, from photography to video editing, things of that nature. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, as well as streaming. So I wanted a CPU that was going to be capable of like handling multiple things being ran in the background. Like, I wanted something strong, good. So I didn't mind spending the money. I just wasn't about to get no dang 5950, right? And then the next thing is, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't feel like lifting it. If you look behind me, I have two motherboards. One of them is getting taken back. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the hardest thing to pick in this build, like literally to pick in this build, and I'm not gonna like show y'all all the parts and everything. This is probably like, I'm only gonna show y'all the 4 main parts that you need. And with like the hardest part to pick in this entirety of this build was the motherboard, and I'm gonna explain why. I thought I would just go pick up a normal motherboard. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this and then move on. And I think one of the boards I've seen people using was like a B-550, yeah, B-550, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. And then I started seeing things about X570. And I'm like, what the hell is an X570? Like B550, X570, potato. Like, what's the difference? I probably spent the most time looking at research on X570 versus the B550. Majority of people said X570 for certain reasons, but yet when I was watching videos from PC Builder, he heavily promotes B550. This is not the channel to go to for me to explain things. I'm gonna be real with you.
Nope.
That's not me. I know what I need to know to build what I need to build. But if you have some stuff in the comment section, I can make some recommendations. Now, why exactly did I choose the X570 over the B550? This is for people who are like tech related, that's kind of noob like, but more intermediate. They know a little bit, and I'm gonna explain it. I chose the X570 for a few reasons. Was it PCI 4 Gen 4? So it was something with the B550 where when you go up and get the premium B550, you have the ability to utilize PCI Gen 4. However, it's two main things. The chipset, I think that's referring to like the where the processor sits. The chipset is not Gen 4. It's only Gen 4 on the X570, and with the PCI 4 Gen 4 lanes or whatever with the B550, if you're connecting more than one, so the graphics card is going to take like the 16 slot, 8 slot, something like that. I don't know. However, if you're adding in other things, so I'm thinking like maybe I don't know, whatever else fits into one of those slots, right? If you're adding more stuff into it, it splits it. Does it make sense to you? It makes somewhat sense to me, But the idea of something being split and not being used to its full capabilities versus using an X570 where I can use each and every single one of my lanes and all of them are going to be running at Gen 4 instead of Gen 3. I mean, you're technically future-proofing with your motherboard.
Perfect.
Now, I've seen benchmarks that showed the difference between the Gen 3 and Gen 4. It's not a difference at all, really. However, it's something that will be able to make a difference in the future. And I'm a big person on future proofing. It's like having a savings account or investing in something just for it to pay off in the long run instead of the short run. And that's how I was looking at my PC build. And so I did originally buy a B-550 I think Gigabyte Acer Aorus Pro AC. That's why I bought it first. It was like a $200 motherboard, and then I was like, hell no. If I'm gonna spend money, I'm gonna spend money. So I went ahead and got the X570 Gigabyte Aorus Master, not the Extreme, cause that price was a little bit too extreme. But I got the Master motherboard, and that was about like $360. So I did get me a premium X570 board instead of getting like a close to premium B550 board. And so that's what I went with. And then to top it all off, I think the last thing is the RAM. I'm gonna show y'all that because that's that's part of the four. The graphics card, CPU, motherboard, RAM. You get your 4 parts right, and that your PC on point.
You think I'm playing?
This is the RAM. I went with 2 sticks, 2x16, so I got 32 gigs of RAM. And eventually I'm going to probably upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM by just buying another one of these. This is RGB. It's the Triton Z Neo, like something that's like super good. I think like PC centric, and a lot of people they use that the RAM, and it's really good. So I'm like, why would I not use it? It goes well with the Ryzen CPUs and like the Ryzen motherboard related stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna get that because I mean it's good, it's fast, it works.
Meanwhile,
what's good, everyone? I'm back. So this is meant to be a clip for the current PC build video that I have. Now, if you're just curious about like what in the world, you got different clothes on, you got a different hat on, maybe the lighting looks a little bit different in some of the areas, listen to me, people. I was on a hunt to get better PC parts. At the time when I made the video, I still had all the same parts, but I do believe I probably either only had 32 gigs of RAM at the time, and I also only had a 3060, keyword a EVGA RTX 3060. I'm here to tell you guys that I made a couple of upgrades to the PC build. I got 32 more gigabytes of RAM. And you're going to see all the total PC build. You're going to see everything all together. But I put in some more money. And let me tell you something that I did. I did something only elitists was able to do. So I'm going to insert a picture of a graphics card of what I'm about to get. And then I'm going to actually show you with me having the graphics card within the next clip. Right? So first things first, I want to let you guys know that, like I said, I made some upgrades. So what exactly did I upgrade? Well, here's the thing. I upgraded my EVGA RTX 3060 for a Zotac Gaming RTX 3060 Ti.
I beg your pardon?
I know what you're thinking, like, whoa, Jamal, that's kind of dope. You was able to upgrade. Again, I'm going to walk you through how I did these things. And then I was able to upgrade my Zotac 3060 Ti to a Zotac Gaming RTX 3080 Trinity OC. Right? How in the world did you do that, Jamal? Again, this right here, this is still sealed. I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do with this, right? Because right now, in my rig, I got the 3060 Ti. Let me tell you how this all worked out and what I'm about to do. So, I went and I purchased a 3060 for $500 flat. And that was the best deal you could have found a 3060 for. So a dude was selling it for $500 flat, right? And I went and I bought it. But I said, you know what? I know I want something better. Let me see if I can leverage this GPU for something else. So Amazon sent me an extra power supply, right? I took that extra power supply, which was a Supernova 5G, 1000 watt, power supply. Super good, super dope. I took that extra one, combined it with my current graphics card, which was the EVGA 3060, right? And I used that as a leverage to bump myself up to get a 3060 Ti without paying any additional extra money. Could I just use what I already had plus the power supply, right? So I wanted to keep it nice and simple. Next, how did I go from a 3060 Ti to a 3080? Well, I still have the current 3060 Ti, so I didn't use that as leverage. However, one of the things I did was a person that I bought my 3060 Ti from, he said, hey, I'm selling a 3080 for $1,350. I said, you know what? That's kind of tempting compared to a lot of the 3080s out there that's being sold. They're being sold for $1,500. They're being sold for $1,600. You name it, right? So I was like, you know what? I like that idea. But I also had a old graphics card that I didn't leverage yet. And that was my Radeon RX 580. It was an MSI version, right? So I was able to leverage that card into the deal to knock off $200 from that RTX 3080, right? So now I was able to buy a RTX Zotac 3080 Trinity OC for $1,100. And I know you're thinking like, okay, that's actually pretty good. You got a 3080 for closer to MSRP. It gets even better. So now I'm going to be able to leverage that Zotac Gaming RTX 3080 for a Asus ROUGH Asus Strix 3080 OC. I don't know. You see the pictures, you see the name of it. You're going to see it in my hands in a second, right? I'm going to do one of these and it's going to be in the hands, okay? So I was able to do all of that and only throwing in an additional $150, meaning I still pay less than what I would have paid for this 3080 that I have right here by getting a better 3080.
Oh my goodness.
And now the final part of the deal. How does this make it all worth it, Jamal? So you got an Asus ROUGH Asus Strix, or however you say it, for let's say around $1,300. You still paid a little bit over MSRP for a graphics card that was originally sold for closer to MSRP when it first came out, right? Here's the thing. I still have a RTX 3060 Ti. So if I was to sell that, that means that ultimately I bought a graphics card for under MSRP. Because if I was to sell this graphics card, the 3060 Ti that I'm currently using for $600, and you subtract that from the GPU that I'm getting right now, that would have mean that I paid $700 for a 3080.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Wow. Look how that works. For the best non-water cooled GPU, I will take that. That's a good deal to me.
Perfect.
And that's how you able to finesse and work the system and work the game, people. You got to use these things to your advantage. If you want to go out there and level up and get certain cards, I'm trying to put y'all up on game. I don't even know about my PC parts like that. But what I do know, I know business. I know how to leverage. I know how to network. I know how to work people. And at the end of the day, the people that I'm doing this stuff with and doing the trades with, they're still winning at the end of the day. Like I told these people, why would you not take the trade? You go sell that card anyway. You selling what you trying to do anyway. Why not trade with me and sell what I'm trying to give you and make a little cash on top? They winning at the end of the day. But I win too. We both eating off the same plate.
Perfect.
Why can't we not just do that? So I just want to keep that part of the video nice and simple. And like I elaborate to you guys, I'm going to show you all the updated PC parts. I'm going to show you what the total build is going to cost. I'm going to show you all of that, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to the new scene of me having the new GPU. So let's get it. Yo, I am back. And just like I said, you see the change of clothes. And you also see my Asus ROUGH Strix 3080, my guy. Now listen, I don't want to make the video longer than what it already is. I told y'all what I was going to do. I told y'all that I was currently working on leveling up my freaking GPU. Let's get a couple of sound bites in here, baby.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Perfect.
That's what I like to hear, baby. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and give y'all the update on the total pricing of everything. We really got to break this down, people. We got to really analyze and look at everything for what it really is. All right. So first things first, I want to update what I originally showed you guys the last time we was looking at these PC parts, right? One of the things that I wanted to do with the PC parts is I want to go in ahead and throw in the monitors that I'm using, because I have 3 monitors that I'm using. I want to go ahead and throw in my current keyboard, my current mouse, and everything. I have all my storage, and I also upgraded the amount of RAM that I'm using. So let's go ahead and run through this really quickly. As you can kind of see in the video, I'm currently using the Ryzen 9, right, 5900X, right? Going through this pretty quickly because I already went through this already. The RTX liquid freezer, AIO. I have the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master, right? That one is man, I ain't gonna lie. That motherboard is really good. And then I went ahead and got 64 gigabytes of RAM. And right here, you see my storage. I'm not gonna go through it. I got 2 M.2 drives, and I moved over to my old storage from my old PC that I had. And here's what we're gonna focus on. Everything else you can kind of see. Here's what we're gonna focus on right here. So originally, you can kind of dance around with the price of that GPU. You can find it cheaper than this. That's the price of that graphics card if you were to get that off of Amazon. However, realistically, the price of that graphics card you can probably find for about a good $600. However, at the time, I got the card for $500 flat when I drove to Kentucky. Now that is the 3060 just by itself, the EVGA. And look at the price of this build, of everything put together. This is not including the lights that I have. This is not including the camera. This is not including cam link. This is not including any of this stuff. This is purely just that build at the given time when I had the EVGA RTX 3060. Now, let's change some things up a little bit. How exactly is the pricing like when I moved over and upgraded from a 3060 to a 3060 Ti? So let's upgrade the pricing list, and this is going to look a little bit weird because I had to manually put in the price for the RTX 3060 Ti. Now, what I did when I manually put in the price for this is I kind of went off of what the market is doing currently with the pricing of a 3060 Ti, right? In most cases, when you go to try to find a 3060 Ti, realistically, you're going to end up finding one for about $800 that people are trying to sell it for. On the lower end, you can probably find one for $750. So that's why with the last one, with it having the EVGA pricing of the graphics card at like close to $800 for a 3060, yes, that's if you get it off Amazon. However, I probably should have manually changed the pricing of it to kind of reflect what the pricing of the build would be. All right, now I recently just upgraded the PC part listing with the current GPU I have. And again, I'm not a tech channel. I'm not gonna be doing no unboxing or anything.
Stop the cap.
Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna make a whole separate video. Like, if you see this, there's gonna be a whole separate video of me just showing and unboxing this GPU. That it'll be just that, okay? So let's see the upgraded PC part list. As you can see, I once again had to manually insert the pricing of this graphics card in, and so I put it at $1,500. So why exactly did I put this particular graphics card at $1,500? Well, it is technically being sold for more. A lot of people are trying to sell this graphic card for close to $1,700. I wanted to be a little bit more on the modest side and leave it closer to what MSRP would be and closer to what I would have paid for it. I technically got this card for cheaper. If you've been keeping up with the video, I know it's going to be on the longer end. However, this is truly important for people who want to learn how to build a PC, what to put together, configuration, what I did, how did I manage to get these parts, etc. You name it, right? So, total of the build. This build is a $4,000 monster. Even if you want to subtract like $300 or $400 from the graphics card pricing that I manually put in based off like the market, this is still a $4,000 monster that I'm dealing with. So now I'm future proofing the PC that I have, and we feeling good around here, baby. How we feeling? We feeling good. Yeah. We about to celebrate. Yeah. We about to turn up in this hole. Yeah. I'm telling you, right? I know what y'all thinking.
Or stop it.
I know. But listen, what else am I supposed to do? I gotta be happy about this, you feel me? I'm telling you right now. Fire! Oh, come on, baby. Oh! So, that's it for the video. This is your boy Jamal Haki, channel dedicated to helping individuals unlock the will to conquer imagination. And if you truly believe in yourself as well as the content being posted here on this channel, then we can indeed help turn the you that's you into something more valuable. Now, if you have something you want to talk to me, hit me up in my email. Leave something in the comment section. Like I always tell people, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of questions you ask, which then leads to quality answers, and those quality answers leads to quality results. And if you truly have some quality questions, leave it in the comment section. I may indeed have a quality answer for you guys. So, if you want to know how to get one of these babies, if you want to know how to network, socialize, communicate with people, I'm your guy. Come to me, leave some in the comment section, and I can help you guys learn how to get a RTX 3080 or 3060 Ti for a little bit lower or close to market value price. So without further ado, that's pretty much it for the video. So, peace.
It's the act of God. I used to act the fool, but now I act in movies. Actually, I'm just making moves. We still making music. Tell you about my past to secure my future. I'm all in my bag. Flow like a computer. That's a humble brag.